Well, indeed, the first bodies from that crash site have arrived here to be examined and identified. Matt Trezza has the details of the investigation into this aspect of the disaster.
The relatives of the victims and the bodies themselves, the remains, are coming here to Russia's capital to be identified and stored until they could be sent back to Poland for proper burial rites in this horrible national tragedy that has struck that country. The Russian government is doing everything it can to make sure that the Polish loved ones and relatives coming to Moscow in order to identify the dead are given every possible consideration, every possible convenience in order to get here. Visa restrictions have been eased across the borders from Poland through Belarus to Russia in order to have them make the trip as easy as possible. And when they're here, all expenses will be paid by the government in terms of their lodging, their meals, their transportation, to make everything as simple and easy as possible for these families who are dealing with what must be among the toughest times in their lives in a great national tragedy for them that is extremely personal. Prime Minister Putin is saying that they're doing everything they can for the ease and convenience of these families. Not only the Polish president, but also the Polish, as you said, political elite, the head of the army, the leader of the president of the central bank, the deputy foreign minister. All of them lost their lives in this tragedy there. And in terms of the investigation itself, both of the black boxes have been recovered from the crash site. The flight data recorder, the cockpit voice recorder, yielding some new clues as to exactly what happened. The deputy director, the deputy chief rather, of the Russian Air Force, Alexander Alyoshin, saying that it appears as though the pilots disregarded orders from ground control to divert from Smolensk to Minsk, which may have led to this tragedy.
In the morning, the weather conditions at Smolensk Severny Airport were difficult. Fog was expected. The Polish Tu-154, with the Polish president on board, was informed of the weather and was advised to divert to a different airport due to the worsening weather conditions. The crew decided to land, and this does not go against international practice because the final decision is made by the captain. The air traffic control officer gave several orders to divert, but the plane continued with its descent. Unfortunately, this ended in tragedy.
Moscow Mayor Yuri Luzhkov is spearheading the effort to establish this crisis center here in Moscow, which should be up and running by now, ready to receive these families, these grieving families from Poland. Within Poland and across the world, it's shock and sadness at the loss of this, much of the political establishment of Poland. It's a tremendous blow to the country. The well wishes, the condolences have been pouring in from across the world, of course from Russia. President Medvedev and Prime Minister Putin among the first to give their condolences to the Polish people. President Medvedev earlier made that address to the Polish people that we carried here on RT. And also President Barack Obama in the United States saying that this is a tragedy not just for Poland but for the world, the United Nations, NATO, China, all major international organizations and countries giving their support to the Polish people in this national hour of their need. The Vatican asking Catholics worldwide to pray for the victims and their families. Remember, previous Pope John Paul II was Polish, and obviously there are strong ties because of that between Poland and the Vatican. And all of these well wishes and condolences being well received by Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk.
This is the most tragic non-military event in the history of Poland. The family of the president has died along with some of the most important people in the country. The whole world hasn't seen such a drama. But the worst tragedy is suffered by the families of those who died near Smolensk. I would like to express my deepest condolences to them. I also would like to say that we've received condolences from the whole world. The first ones to call were President Medvedev and Prime Minister Putin.
The next 7 days declared as a national period of mourning for Poland, and here in Russia, Monday is also declared a national day of mourning here to commemorate the victims and this tragedy.
That is Trezza reporting from the Foreign Office Ministry.